Those of you who follow sports are aware of the term bust. A bust or a draft bust. In the sports world, that is defined as a player who had immeasurable talent and potential, but ended up being a terrible player in the pros, didn't live up to his potential. On the NFL side, you got guys like Ryan Leaf, Jamarcus Russell, Tony Mandarich, Lawrence Phillips, more recently Robert Griffin III. Some would even say Carson Wentz. Those guys come to mind. In the NBA, we think of guys like Kwame Brown, Darko Milicic, who, by the way, was the second overall pick in 2003, one behind LeBron James. We think of Michael Olowokandi, Sam Bowie, who was drafted number 2 overall in the '84 draft, one spot ahead of Michael Jordan. For us baseball nerds, we think of guys like Mark Pryor, Josh Hamilton, and more recently Matt Harvey, who were all baseball phenoms when they came into the league. But Pryor was riddled with injuries, Josh Hamilton had substance abuse and addiction issues, and Matt Harvey couldn't get out of his own head after he dated Adriana Lima. Now, not every draft bust was solely responsible for his failures. There were factors that were outside of a few players' control that eventually led to their downfall. DeJuan Wagner, who was one of John Calipari's best players, I think while he was back in either Kentucky or Memphis, he had to have half of his colon removed because of severe colitis, and bam, he was out of the NBA. Wide receiver Brandon Marshall isn't considered to be a bust, but he could have been so much greater if not for his undocumented and undiagnosed mental illness. Only when Marshall was properly diagnosed did he have the mental capacity to be a professional athlete, a healthy, mentally professional athlete. And then, of course, you have guys like Sam Bradford and Greg Oden, who are pretty much made out of peanut brittle and popsicle sticks. Yes, you have athletes that do overcome sickness and still become great, like Mario Lemieux, John Lester, and Lance Armstrong, for better or worse. But by and large, any unforeseen circumstances or uncontrollable circumstances, they derail a lot of professional athletic careers. But the guys who have no one to blame but themselves, the guys who were their own worst enemy for one reason or another, were susceptible to the same things that we are as men. The very same things that held these guys back from reaching their full potential, these kinds of things hold us back as well. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what really holds men back from reaching their full potential. And I'm going to keep it 100 here, guys. I myself, I'm guilty of a lot of these things myself, even now. So this video will be as much for me as it is for you guys. Before I get into it, guys, do your boy a solid and push me up in the algorithm by liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing the video. If you guys could just take a few seconds to help me out, I'd greatly appreciate that. Also, if you want to be notified when I go live, guys, download the Sharpe Stream app and enable push notifications. Don't worry, not going to blow you up. It's just that you guys know that YouTube notifications, they've been a bit wonky lately, and most, if not all, of my subscribers are not getting notified when I go live. So make sure you get your hands on my app to stay in the know. It's available for Android or iOS. Okay, let's get into the things that hold most men back from reaching our full potential. Number 1, bad financial decisions and bad financial habits. Now, on a lower level, this is when guys spend their money on dumb shit constantly. Video games, they have a weed bill, fast food, in-app purchases, extended warranties, eating out all the time because you're lazy, smoking cigarettes, making payments on phones. These are the kinds of people that black women talk about basically ain't shit niggas or trailer trash ain't shit dudes. You go a level up from that. Living above your means is a terrible, terrible financial habit to have. There are a lot of you guys are out here living in apartments that are way too expensive for you. You guys have amenities that you don't need. You drive a car with a high car payment. You buy expensive clothes. You're, again, living above your means. Listen, I've been guilty of this in the past as well. Put in the work, gentlemen, and research better options, okay? Friends and family who I have friends and family who make great money, they still live check to check. Then you add in the video games, the Jordans, the weed, and you can't save any money. Now, one level up from that is that you're a guy who makes great money, but you're still living from check to check. This means that you can't or won't save money. Well, I don't make enough to save money, Donovan. No, you live above your means. That's why you can't save money. Guys, buy cars in cash. Well, Donovan, I can't afford to buy one in cash. That's because you're out here trying to buy a $20,000, $25,000 vehicle. Guys, save you $5,000, and get a comparable vehicle with no car payment. This also means a lower insurance payment. Make sacrifices for stability down the line. Guys, look, I'm no financial expert, not even close, but I do have a nest egg. Here's another tip. Move to a tax-free state that's cheap to live in. Like I said, I've made all of these mistakes, and I'll talk about these a little bit later. There's an ESPN 30 for 30 entitled Broke. That talks about a lot of the professional athletes who went through all of their money. Antoine Walker famously blew just about every penny of his $108 million he made in the NBA. Andre Rison blew all his money. Mike Tyson, Allen Iverson. Few things hold men back from reaching our full potential more than bad financial decisions and bad financial habits. So keep that in mind. Number two, the second thing that keeps us from reaching our true potential is unrealistic expectations and goals. Listen, it's one thing to challenge yourself, but way too many guys are being unrealistic. Guys who are new to this community say, I want to be a billionaire, I want to get down to 2% body fat, and I want 15 women in my rotation. I want to take over the world. I want to be a billionaire. I want to own a private jet. I want to own a yacht. Guys, quit watching music videos and reality TV. Yes, it is good to have goals and aspirations. Goals and aspirations keeps us motivated. It gives us something to strive for. But you're not going to be a billionaire. That takes a lot of time, a lot of work, and a lot of luck. I suggest that you read the book entitled Outliers. It's by Malcolm Gladwell. It's the story of success. In that book, Bill Gates says, yes, I've been very lucky. Steve Jobs, we all know who he is. He said he got a lot of lucky breaks on his ladder to success. Bill Joy, the co-founder of Sun Microsystems, always talks about how lucky he's been. Gentlemen, luck equals opportunity plus preparation. You might be prepared, but the time might not be right, or the opportunity might never be there. It takes luck. Don't mistake me. I don't want you guys to mistake me. Challenge yourself, push yourself, but be realistic. Unrealistic goals seem very daunting, and that can discourage a lot of men right from the start. So start an online business, for example. Start small, and you continue to work at it until it supports you financially. Then start another one after that, and maybe another one after that. At that point, now you have financial and location independence. Make it a goal to lose 20 pounds, then lose another 20 pounds after that. Then you can start working on body fat. Get down to 20%, then down to 15%, then get under 10 if you can. Now, gentlemen, this takes time, but if you do it in segments and you're consistent with it, it's not so daunting. As far as girls go, guys, we say it all the time, learn game. Make it a goal to smash one new girl a month. Do that for 2 months, then one girl every 2 weeks, then one girl a week, and so forth. Make it a goal to travel more. Visit one new country every year for 5 years, then maybe 2 years per year for the next 5 years. Learn a new martial art. Learn a new language. Guys, break it up. Be realistic and break it up so it's not so daunting. Now, on the flip side, some guys don't have it in them and they know it, but they still like to talk about it and dream about it, knowing they'll never achieve it because they're lazy and they lack the requisite discipline. And we'll have more on that later. It's almost like in sales jobs. I talk about my sales jobs all the time. Customer will come in and how much is this mattress? Oh, it's $8,000. Oh, $8,000 for this bed. That's great. They're not going to buy it because they don't have the money for it. That's why they didn't push back. I'm gonna be a billionaire. No, you're not. Anybody can say anything, but unrealistic or overly ambitious goals does a lot more harm than good and derails your development and really holds you back from reaching your full potential. Number 3, not having a plan. Not having a plan is probably one of the most important reasons men don't reach their full potential. Even more detrimental than goals that are too lofty is not having a plan. Okay, so you want to be in better shape. You want to save money. Maybe you want to start your own business. Maybe you want to be better with women. Maybe you want to take up a productive hobby. Goals are great, but if there's no plan, you are far less likely to reach your goals. So if you want to get into better shape, choose a workout plan. I personally endorse Strong Lifts 5x5. There's circuit training. CrossFit I've heard is a little bit crazy, but I've also heard it's quite effective. Pick a diet plan. Go keto, go carnivore, go paleo, eat clean, go vegan, go gluten-free, go plant-based. Whatever it is, pick a plan. Let's say you want to start saving money. Guys, read books on saving money. Start a spreadsheet. There are all kinds of free webinars on saving money. Watch money-saving podcasts on YouTube. Guys, come up with a plan. Your money isn't going to save itself. If you want to start your own business, do the research. Come up with a financial plan. Find out what the laws are in your state. Find out what permits you have to have if it's a brick and mortar. If it's an online business, educate yourself. You can't just say, I want to start a business, and then start making shit. I didn't start TSR by just starting to talk. I had a plan. I planned it for months before I actually launched it. If you want to be better with women, and this is what I'm guilty of this, you can't just go out and start talking to women at random. You have to learn how to talk to women. You have to learn how to escalate. You need to learn how to read body language, read indicators of interest, then go to places that are target rich. Do your research, walk around, go to singles events, social events, take a dance class. Put yourself in position to be successful with women. Setting a goal is one thing, but you must have a plan. It takes time to accomplish goals, but it takes a plan. Not having a plan always keeps men from reaching their full potential. Never forget that. Number 4, lack of consistency and discipline. This is a big one. This is probably a bigger reason why most men don't reach their full potential. A lot of guys have goals and a lot of guys have plans, but they're inconsistent. So for example, they'll work out for a week, then they'll give up, then they'll start again, stop again. They'll do that on and off for, 6-7 months, and then wonder why they're not getting into better shape. They don't work on their business every day, right? They research for a few days, then they stop for a month. They develop an idea and they cultivate it, then they stop again, then they start again. They watch their diet 1 week, then they have a cheat day, and that turns into a cheat week. Then they start another diet. Guys will talk to 5 girls a day for 2 weeks, then stop because of rejection or attrition. Most things, gentlemen, can be accomplished simply by sticking with it. As far as a diet, you don't have to be on the perfect diet, right? Your diet won't be perfect, but if you're consistent, it will work. Okay, so you missed a couple of days lifting because you're sick. Get back on it. If you're always working towards starting that online business, it's fine if you take a break, but stick with it. If you consistently talk to girls, you are going to add girls to your roster as a matter of simple probability and mathematics. There is no secret, guys. Just be consistent. Now, let's talk about discipline. Most men have terrible discipline. Most men don't have the discipline to wake up at 4 a.m. to go lift weights. Most men do not have the discipline to not eat fast food. Most men do not have the discipline to not make stupid purchases. Most men do not have the discipline to always strike up conversation with a woman that catches his eye. Guys, I'm telling you right now, if you haven't heard anything I said so far, consistency and discipline. This is what separates the top 5 to 10 percenters and everyone else. A lot of guys are like, man, that guy's kicking life's ass. What's the secret? It's consistency and discipline. You can accomplish anything with consistency and discipline. Tony Gonzalez did an interview with Colin Cowherd, and Colin asked, hey, what percentage of NFL players have Hall of Fame talent? Tony Gonzalez said all of them. Then Colin said, well, then why aren't most people in the Hall of Fame? Gonzalez said, well, because really only 3% of those ultra talented people do the work to get into the Hall of Fame. Most just do enough to stay in the league, even the most talented ones. Lack of either or both consistency and or discipline. Those are 2 of the biggest factors that keeps men from reaching their full potential. Number 5, the 5th thing that keeps men from reaching their full potential are self-destructive tendencies, substance abuse, drugs, alcohol. And again, guys, I am as guilty of this as anybody. Anyone who's followed me for any number of weeks, years, you guys know I've told a lot of stories involving nose candy and strippers. It's great fun, guys, but it cost a lot of money, and that held me back big time. For 3 years, for almost 3.5 years, guys, for almost 3.5 years, I did blow every weekend. 3.5 years, every single weekend I was doing blow. Then right at the very end, I did it for 5 days in a row. After that 5th day, I realized, okay, I might be developing a problem. I was able to quit cold turkey and survive that. Guys, I'd be a lot better off now than I already am had I never fucked with the nose candy. Now, don't get me wrong, I have a nice little nest egg, but it would be substantially larger if not for all the money I blew on cocaine. Honestly, had I not had an in with a bunch of strippers, my nest egg would probably be, I don't know, like a nest jelly bean. And that's real talk. Johnny Manziel, another NFL draft bust. He struggled with cocaine. A lot of guys like to smoke weed all day, every day, right? They say, well, it's for medical reasons. No, you want to get high, which is cool. But weed makes you dumber. Weed makes you lazy. Weed makes you eat. All of those things hold you back. Josh Gordon, another super talented guy out of Baylor. He had a weed and drug problem. Alcohol, painkillers, steroids. John Jones, he does drugs and steroids. Another self-destructive behavior that men have, unprotected sex. Gentlemen, when you have unprotected sex with women, you're risking STDs, kids, false EPAR accusations. If you overeat, that is a self-destructive tendency. If you are watching porn, that's a self-destructive tendency. This takes time. This saps your energy. It lowers your testosterone, kills your motivation. You lose your edge. If you gamble, if you're doing FanDuel or DraftKings, listen, I know a lot of guys in Vegas who gambled, and they almost always had some sort of stress in their life because it was a self-destructive behavior. John Daly, a golfer, gambled away all of his winnings, all of his money away. Another self-destructive tendency, getting into fights. I'm guilty of that as well. Gentlemen, all of these things keep you from reaching your full potential. Guys, you need to get rid of your self-destructive behaviors. Number 6, the sixth thing that I will point out that keeps men from reaching their full potential is investing in low-quality women. Single moms, banana gobblers, pole dancers, OnlyFans girls, etc. And I'm not just talking about just sexual relations or one-night stands or friends with benefits arrangement. No. Listen, let the good times roll. As far as single moms, banana gobblers, strippers, OnlyFans girls, listen, let the good times roll. Get your sausage wet. No, I'm talking about investing anything outside of your sausage. Your time, your attention, your emotion, your money, all of those things, your resources. Dudes always say, I do nothing but smash these hoes. That's bullshit. They commit to these women. The guys who scream from the loudest from the highest mountaintop, oh, I do nothing but smash these hoes. These are the guys that commit. I'm guilty of this too. Guys, listen, I've dated strippers in the past. I have fallen in love with sluts. I have had relationships with single mothers, and none of them got me anywhere. Strippers are literally only good for having a hot girl to look at and fuck and getting free drugs. That's it. Sluts are really just good for sex on call. Single moms, also good for sex on call. So if they're only good for sex, why are we investing more than sex? Guys, investing your most valuable commodities always holds men back, and we do it all for sex. Yes, we want companionship, but we as men, we handle isolation a lot better. Sometimes it's not fun, but we handle it better, and sometimes we even learn to thrive in isolation. It is better to not be in a relationship than getting cheated on by a stripper or a hoe. Professional athletes, they get taken down this path all the time. Sean Kemp, I got a list here for you. Sean Kemp, 7 children, 6 different women. Muhammad Ali, 9 children, 5 different women. Willis McGahee, 9 kids, 5 different women. Evander Holyfield, 11 children, 8 different mothers. Dude, no wonder he won't retire. He can't afford to. Travis Henry, 11 children, 10 different women. Antonio Cromartie, 12 children by 9 different women. Gentlemen, these women will drain you of your time, your money, and your resources, and you need all 3 to reach your full potential. Stop investing in low-quality women and invest in yourself. Number 7, finally, the last thing that keeps men from reaching their full potential. This is number 7 because it's number 1. Chasing tail. There are 2 things in this world that make really smart men really dumb. Sports and peace leave. I'm guilty of both. When I think about the amount of money I spent chasing tail in Vegas, I almost get sick to my stomach. Like it's like, honestly, all the clothes that I bought, the cologne, the drinks, the dates, the clubs, tipping bouncers at clubs or the strip clubs, dude, the drugs I used to buy. Again, that nest egg would probably be at least double what it is. Like the drugs, I'd be so much better off now had I not invested that much in chasing tail. Don't get me wrong. It was a great time. It was great fun, and I make a great living talking about my experiences. But a man who lives for just chasing tail, he's got some growing up to do. And don't get me wrong, man. Peace leave is great. But when you learn how to get it without much effort, you realize that you've blown a stupid amount of time and money chasing something you really didn't have to chase. We say this all the time, guys. PUAs aren't alphas. PUAs are blue pill. They really are. They know how to get the box, but they don't know what to do afterwards. So if you're all about the box, when there is a slump, and there will be, you're going to get depressed because it's all you live for. Again, I'm guilty of this. Peace sleeve is always going to be there, but it's not always consistent. You can't count on peace sleeve always being there. Making your life about the peace sleeve, that is unwise mentally, physically, financially. Empires have fallen over the box. Samson was brought down by Delilah. David was brought down by Bathsheba. Harvey Weinstein, Matt Lauer, more recently Bill Cosby, Bill O'Reilly. Companies have been brought down by the box. Don't get me wrong, guys. Peace sleeve is a wonderful thing. It really, really is. But so many men have no idea that they are being held back by their constant pursuit of box, not realizing that if he focused on other things like fitness, agency, education, traveling, learning new skills, or entrepreneurship, that box would make itself available automatically anyway. Let's take it to another level. Women hold us back. As men, we do everything for women, whether we admit it or not, right? We get a job for a woman, the way we dress. And I know a lot of you, I don't do anything for a woman. Yes, you do, okay? The cars we drive. We lift weights to get laid or to stay attractive to our women. I know I do. Listen, I lift weights to be big and strong and healthy, but I also do it to be attractive to my woman and other women. I'm not afraid to admit that. Now, fortunately, some of the things we do are also good for us. Lifting weights makes us healthier, eating well makes us feel better. But the reason we improve ourselves is because we want to be successful with women on some level. And this is one-night stands, friends with benefits arrangements, long-term relationships, sometimes even marriage, which is a bad idea, but men still want it. This doesn't make us beta males. This doesn't make us blue pill, right? This doesn't make us a slave to the box. This doesn't make us weak. You got your black pill and low-level MGTOW guys like to pretend that they're strong for checking out of the dating market. Just because you've checked out doesn't mean that you don't still want to pursue women and sex with them. We all love women. We all want to be with women. We all want to have sex with beautiful women. Why? Because it's the way we are biologically hardwired. We are biologically hardwired to want a woman's companionship, whether it's for a night, a week, a year, a decade, or for a lifetime. We are designed to pursue women. We build for women. We innovate for women. We fight wars to protect our women. Men put their lives on hold for women. A man gets a job offer in another city, but he stays because he doesn't want to leave her, right? Or a man wants to start a business and makes progress, but he keeps getting held up because of her shenanigan. A man wants to get into shape, but because he spends too much time with his friend with benefit, he doesn't lift as much as he should. I've been guilty of that too. I've started having sex with a girl and things are great, and I'll skip a day or two from the weight room. I want you guys to understand this. Women are neither good or bad. They're not angelic. They're not evil. They just are. Women are weird, wonderful, fantastic, and fucked up all at the same time, all the time. But living for women, chasing peace leave all the time, doing everything strictly for success with women holds every man back. No, there's nothing wrong with taking a dance class or an improv class on Tuesdays and Thursdays to put yourself in front of women to see what happens. But doing things strictly for the purpose of women never gets you women. Now, it might work temporarily, but it's never anything substantive. All the tail that I chased in Vegas, I never had a decent relationship. Not one. I had some that I thought were decent relationships, but because of the frame and my mindset, and of course the girls out there, never had a decent, fulfilling, substantive relationship. Now I'm with Devin, right? Now I wasn't looking for her. We had sort of had a chance meeting. We hit it off and the rest is history. I met her at the right time. I was making a lot of changes in my life. I was sort of reassessing my life and realigning my priorities, and she happened to fit right into what I was doing at the time. It is great to have women, gentlemen. It really is. But the best relationships come when you don't go looking for them. I know that sounds cliche-ish, but it's true. When you concentrate on things other than women, trust me when I tell you, women will find you. Constantly looking for a woman because you feel like you need a woman to complete you is futile, okay? One day you're going to wake up and you're 64 years old, you're going to think to yourself, man, I spent the last 3+ decades chasing women and chasing box. Yeah, I've accomplished a few things, but I'd be a lot better off now had I not focused so much on chasing peace leave. Women and peace leave holds every man back, and it is the #1 thing that keeps men from reaching their full potential. Thanks for watching.